MMA flicks and chill. MMA flicks and chill.
What's up, guys? So I'm thinking about the Jon Jones and Ciryl Gane match. What do you guys think about this? Because first off, if Ciryl Gane can't beat Jon Jones, who's going to beat Jon Jones? It's like Jon Jones is entering the heavyweight division, which is already kind of scarce. And they're putting Ciryl Gane, their best bet against somebody that might be able to beat Jon Jones, up against him for his debut into the heavyweight division. I mean, people think Francis Ngannou would have beat him, but I don't. I think Jon Jones takes Francis and Ciryl Gane. And that's not anything personal. I just think Francis he's strong. He has a great story. He's getting better. You know, he's not a young pup, but he's an old dog that's learning newer tricks. He's not that old, but you know what I mean. So it's nothing to bag on Francis, but Jon Jones just has so much experience, and he's every bit as athletic, if not more, than Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou is has one of those body types where he was born with muscle. You know what I mean? If he never even worked out, he would still look pretty muscular. My question is, if you think Ciryl Gane can beat Jon Jones, how is he going to do it? Is he going to be able to do it in striking? And if you think yes, then what makes you think that? Through all the fights you've seen Jon Jones have, and all the fights you've seen Ciryl Gane have, what makes you think that Ciryl Gane will be able to beat Jon Jones? Do you think he has better footwork? Do you think he has a higher fight IQ? And I'm not saying this to disparage anything or even put down your opinion. I truly want to know, because if there's something that I'm missing, I want to know. Because, you know, I make little bets. I make little bets online on the fights, and I want to know what should stop me from putting every dime that I have in my bet account on Jon Jones. Just every dime. And I know he's the favorite, so I'll be risking more than I would win. But I just feel like Jon Jones, he went up to heavyweight, so now he's got that fire in him where he just wants to prove that he's the best in anywhere he goes. You know, Jon Jones pretends that he doesn't have an ego, but his ego is enormous. And with that ego is like, he has an alpha state of mind, obviously. He tries not to show it, but it leaks out through his character when the cameras aren't on him. So what I'm trying to say by that is, by him going into the heavyweight division, this is just like, it's like him entering the UFC again, you know. And there's a lot on the line for him. There's way more on the line for Jon Jones than there is Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane beats him. Jon Jones is over the hill. He's done. It's all downhill from here. That's what people are going to say. And that's what he I'm sure knows that that's what people are going to say. So, and then the other side of that, if Ciryl Gane loses, it's like, yeah, but he fought the GOAT, you know? What'd you expect? And everybody will still give him props. Jon Jones loses, nobody's going to give him props and be like, oh, he did a good job. They're going to be like, he's over the hill. He might not even be in the top 5 in the heavyweight division, blah, blah, blah. I mean, think about, how will you feel if Jon Jones wins compared to if Ciryl Gane wins? How will you feel? Personally, if Jon Jones wins, I will be like, of course, he's the GOAT. I knew this was coming. He's an A+ student in MMA, and not that Ciryl Gane's not, he is too, but Jon Jones has just been in that sandbox a lot longer, you know? And he's seen more battles. And he hasn't really been through that many wars with how many battles he's been through, with how many fights he's had. And that says something about his fight IQ. He's had, how many fights has Jon Jones had? Well, he's 26-1, so 27 fights. Ciryl Gane is 11-1. So you got 26-1 Jon Jones, and then 11-1 Jon Jones. Never seen much damage in any of those fights. Ciryl Gane, not so much either. So I get why it's an interesting fight. Ciryl Gane he's like the golden goose, kind of. He's the UFC's golden goose. If Ciryl Gane wins over Jon Jones, that puts him, well, first off, he'll be the heavyweight champion. And he'll be the guy that beat Jon Jones. Because Jon Jones is 26-1, but that one was, I believe, a disqualification. So it's kind of like a BS loss, right? It's not that the other fighter bested Jon Jones or beat him. It's just that Jon Jones got disqualified. He hit him with something illegal and then got disqualified. So that blemish on his record is not a blemish on his fight IQ. And that's what I'm trying to say. And if Ciryl Gane won, I would be like, maybe it would make me wonder, maybe Jon Jones is kind of on the downward slope. He's no longer at his peak. Which that raises another question. Is Jon Jones at his peak, and is Ciryl Gane at his peak? Because people hit their peak at different times. It goes off of how much damage they've taken before their mind was right. Because the mind is really where you start peaking. You know, obviously you got to be your athletic performance has got to be at a peak too. But everything has got to be in tune. Your body, your mind, your energy, your spirit, you know, all that. Your attitude. So, you know, Jon Jones has been at war with himself for a long time. He's the only one that has really ever beaten him. So Jon Jones beats everybody, including himself. Ciryl Gane, you know, it can go both ways too. I was going to say Ciryl Gane, he has kind of, Ciryl Gane's kind of like, what I was going to say is like, he's gotten by the skin of his teeth on a few fights. But then again, so is Jon Jones. So like the Dominic Reyes thing. But one thing that I did notice is when Jon Jones was fighting light heavyweight, and reigning that, I feel like he was getting kind of bored with it. And it was like, feeling like same-o, you know? He'd been with that woman too long. And he has grown bored of her. That's how I feel that Jon Jones was starting to look at light heavyweight division. Jon Jones has a very highly competitive spirit. And if you're just the best at everything and you keep winning and you keep winning and you keep winning and you feel like the challenge is gone, there's not really much challenge out there, I could see him training less, putting less effort into winning because it's too easy. His gas tank's already there. All he has to do is go to the gym. His fight IQ's already there. So, you know, he doesn't have to try as hard and he's still winning. I feel like maybe that's what happened with Dominic Reyes. Is that was Jon Jones not giving a shit and just going in and being like, I'm going to get the job done. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what it felt like, because he didn't come in with the same energy that he did, that we're used to seeing him with. And it slowly diminished. I don't know where it stopped. Maybe, I almost want to say after maybe Daniel Cormier, it was like a decline in his energy, in his spirit. And I think that he was fighting himself a lot during those times. And I think now he has a new fire, a new flame to fuel his competitiveness. I think he wanted that in Gane fight. And now he's getting Ciryl Gane, and he's going to go in there and get the job done. I personally think it's going to be a finish. I think Jon Jones is going to hurt Ciryl Gane. I think it's going to be ugly. I think we're going to feel bad for Ciryl Gane. I think we're going to realize that Jon Jones is the king of both divisions, the light heavyweight and the heavyweight division, and there's nobody that can touch him. And I think he would have beat Francis Ngannou as well. But we may never know about that one. I hope we do. I hope we do soon, because Jon Jones is 38 years old. He's 38 years old. When I turned 40, I started feeling a decline in athleticism. My endurance, my energy, my muscle strength, not a lot, but a decline. And I just don't want it to turn into, some young upcomer, beats Jon Jones, and Jon Jones is like 42 or something like that, or 40 or whatever. And then it's like, oh, see, he's not as good as we thought he was. That's not fair. Because how quickly people forget. How quickly people forget what accomplishments, like these fighters have already done. We're like moths to a flame, to the latest flame. But that's just the way we are as humans. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to have a conversation about this Jon Jones-Ciryl Gane fight, because I just don't see Jon Jones losing this. And that's what makes UFC and MMA interesting, because I could be totally wrong. And just, we don't know what they're doing on their own times. We don't know what to, and it's crazy to think about. Because when they're in their fight camps, this is them like collecting energy and collecting energy, like building up to something. And then when both of these two balls of energy collide, something's going to happen. And we as the fans, we don't know how much energy was built up on this side or how much energy was built up on this side. And we don't know how much of it even matters. Because like I said, I think around Dominic Reyes times with Jon Jones, I don't think he was building up that much energy. I think Dominic Reyes was building up energy. But Jon Jones is already up here. So Dominic Reyes is building up energy. Jon Jones built up a little bit of energy. He's up here. Dominic Reyes built up energy. And then the two collided. Who do you think's going to win? If you like the content, let me know in the comments what you think. Who do you think's going to win? Give me some likes, subscribe, and ring the freaking bell. And I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Thank you for kicking in with MMA Flex and Chill. Chill. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Ring the bell.